So I was mentioning that power sector reform really started in 91, 92, but almost for 10 years, I would say, the 90s was the decade of lost opportunities so far power sector is concerned. And if power sector faces a decade of lost opportunity, industry inevitably will face a decade of lost opportunity. Industry, service, agriculture, household, everything, I mean, power sector is common. And that's the time Mr. Prabhu and his government decided that we should have someone from the industry with varied background. Electricity, unfortunately, I didn't have the privilege of teaming with him for many, many years. He had to leave, but I continue his unfinished work on the Electricity Act. We did Electricity Act 2003 in June, finally, with a lot of problems at that time. Nowadays, when I see Parliament functioning and the type of cooperation that exists, it is amazing how we could do the Electricity Act, because at that time the government didn't have the right majority in the Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha had got stuck with 84 amendments from Congress, which was in opposition. The present Prime Minister is the opposition leader at that time. We had to meet him, explain to him, and finally we got this. It was really, as Goradia rightly said, a turning point. And after that, so many things have really followed. I don't want to narrate because it has been very nicely articulated by Srimati Goradia ji, what all it brought about. But at this point of time, some of the issues that came in the introductory welcome speech of the President of this August body, that we have power, we have capacity. Just now before we came here, we were talking. We have capacity and we have demand. There is load shedding. In a place like just outskirts of Delhi, capital city, we have Noida as a township in UP, we have Gurgaon as the flagship city of Haryana, and you have 12 hours to 14 to 18 hours of load shedding. And we have capacity stranded of the order of 20, 30, 40,000 megawatt, depending on the day we are talking. The power sector moved. Post-Electricity Act 2003, National Electricity Policy 2005, Tariff Policy, whole range of 7, 8 very, very important legislative initiatives and policy initiatives. It moved forward. But power sector movement cannot take you forward unless the matching sectors also move. Electricity Bill 2001, which became 2003 later on, and Coal Bill were simultaneously introduced in the Parliament. The Coal Bill is even now pending in the Parliament. 10 years down the line, that bill is still pending in the Parliament. As you know, power sector is to the extent of 75% dependent on coal. Though capacity is 56-57% of the total, but generation is almost 70% plus of the total generation of the country. It didn't move. So as a result, now we have capacities. I feel a bit embarrassed when various industry bodies, various industrialists of the country, I'm not able to face. They were the people who had turned back from the power sector, and they all came back to the power sector. Post-2003, they all came back. Power sector, they had abandoned. Bankers had abandoned. They all came back. And now, they are left high and dry. People set up power stations. Coal is not available. 2010 was another turning point when the then Environment Minister, Honorable Jairam Ramesh, declared that almost 50% of the coal mines of the country are untouchable. No go. That decision rightly has been taken back by the government. But on ground reality is that that decision is yet to be fully implemented. As a result, you have coal mines in the country, you have power capacities in the country. 1,000 megawatt power station requires 4,000 crores of investment. You have, as he rightly said, that 30,000 to 40,000 megawatt stranded. We used to face this problem with the gas-based combined cycle power plant in the past. We always had that problem. And we factored in that problem in our planning. That Indian power sector planning will not greatly depend on the gas as the fuel. So therefore, only marginal capacity addition will happen from gas. But we never realized that the letdown will be so huge insofar as domestic coal production is concerned. Anyway, coal production let us down. Now the Prime Minister has set up advisory group and something is moving. I only hope that it will take us forward. But if domestic coal production is down and if we are importing, can we take a view that consumers will not pay for the higher cost of fuel? That's this. That's also this. Can the regulators take a view that if you are running your power plant, because you don't get domestic coal, you are running your power plant by importing coal. After all, you need to import, that's it. It's a global economy. And if you are importing the coal, would it not be an appropriate approach to see that the extra cost that is incurred because of such imports, you have an arrangement? Gujarat is a nice state. Gujarat happens to house two of the largest power plants of the country in Mundra. Both are imported and partly no. And it would be a sad day for India that Tata's 4,000 megawatt and first 800 megawatt units of the country remains idle and somebody is suffering load shedding in rural area. Haryana is Gujarat, Gurgaon is suffering 18 hours of load shedding. Noida is suffering 14 hours of load shedding, and we have this standard capacity. There are so much of decision-making disconnects in the country which have erupted in the last couple of years. It seems that nobody is orchestrating the differences. There could be differences, there could be views, there could be perceptions, there could be ideas which could differ from each other, but somewhere they have to be synthesized, they have to be orchestrated, and a decision has to happen that it doesn't happen. Where we are now, we made a program and we would have almost succeeded. That by 2012 there will be power for all. There would be power for all. We brought Rajiv Gandhi Gramin Vidyutikaran Yojana, connected 600,000 villages, mostly BPL limits we raised, household electricity connection, eligibility we raised, whole thing, most of it has happened. I tell you, 90% of it has happened. But then where is the power to take it? Electricity boards. Gujarat is good. Gujarat is one of the best, perhaps the best, because I happen to chair some of the award bodies, and Gujarat year after year, different distribution companies of Gujarat, they are getting awarded. Gujarat as a whole is getting awarded. But I may tell you also, Gujarat was reluctant to reorganize. Gujarati mentioned that one of the outcomes of Electricity Act was reorganization of the State Electricity Board. I had to come here during 2004-05 at least half a dozen times with the Chief Secretary, Energy Secretary. Electricity Board had some reservation, but not as big and as strong reservation as in the rest of the country. Finally it happened and Gujarat turned around. Gujarat broke even, started making profit right from 2005-06. 5, 6, 7, 7, 8. Gujarat is one of the 2-3 states in the country, West Bengal and Jalandhar, a few others, where power sector as a whole is making profit. Power sector as a whole and consumers of power sector are paying for electricity that they get. In the rest of the states and many states, people have taken a view. Electricity distribution companies have taken a view. Power may be available, but if I am not able to collect money, if my regulator is not giving me adequate tariff, I will not buy that power to supply to people. How do you have power for all? If the distribution adopt that approach, that I won't buy power because I will not be able to collect and my losses will increase. Somewhere regulatory interventions, policy interventions are not again getting into orchestrated mode. Now, today, really we are not at that bad situation at which we were there a few years ago, having built a good capacity. 200,000 megawatt is a big capacity. 55,000 megawatt of capacity addition during 11th plan, because of the work that myself and Mr. Suresh Prabhu did in the past, in policy levels, getting the new starts made, getting the industry into the sector, you have got the benefit. The power sector planning gives you benefit after 5 years. You do something, it's like planting a tree. You plant now and you get the fruit after 4, 5, 6 years, depending on what you are talking. It has started giving. But unfortunately, this coordination, this orchestration, this decision making is totally lacking. We have issues in rural India, we have issues in urban India. Gujarat is good, but there are issues in Gujarat where we need to look at those issues. I am quite clear. Gujarat is the biggest customer of Mundra Power of Tata. Let me be very frank. So long as you remain stuck up, who will bell the cat? If that is the approach in decision making, then we will never decide. Out of 4,000 megawatt of power, I remember Vijay Lakshmi Joshi used to be the UVNL chairperson or energy secretary or one of the positions. And Gujarat fought with Ministry of Power that this power station coming in Mundra, all supports we are in cooperation we are giving, maximum amount of allocation should be made from this Tata Power to Gujarat. And we did it. Almost 1,800 to 2,000 megawatt of capacity is allocated. Can you believe that a company like Tata and a power project like this is facing a problem that it may not run? And the case is that if you import coal, it costs you more, I won't pay you. This decision has to be taken. Thank you very much.